There's another phrase. The person says, there is a will in which I am the beneficiary. There is a will and I am the beneficiary. Now, let me make this very clear. A will is not a title document.
Okay, awesome.
Is not titled. What a will simply does is that it shows or expresses the intention of the person who made the will. That document doesn't transfer title. That document simply says that you, Mr. A, should take this property in Abuja. Mr. B should take this property in Lagos. That is simply what it does. And then the document further says Mr. Jeff and Mr. Raymond will be the ones to serve as executors to this property or to my estate, right? Now, there are procedures to achieving that. There are procedures to making title flow to the beneficiary in that will. So if you have somebody want to sell property to you and is saying that I have title document, where is the title document? He brings a will. Wrong. All right. Really, it makes sense to run because the procedures before that.
Okay.
There are procedures that are meant to be followed before the beneficiary. The beneficiary is the person who the will maker has given. So let's say Mr. Jeff now in the picture, he is a beneficiary. They write his name in the will as the person who should take the property in Abuja. Now at that point he's a beneficiary. But before he can transfer title to another person, right? A document which is referred to as an assent must have been executed by the executors that have been mentioned in that will. So through that document, which is known as an assent, title is given to him through the executors. So if you don't see that document, which is referred to as an assent, if you don't see that document, then you don't have any business transacting with that person. That is a red flag. Simple as that.
Please just explain what the accent is, for laymen like us. What is the accent?
Now, I use you as an example. I said, for instance, let's say I'm so rich and I'm about going to meet my father in heaven. And then I'm like, okay, Mr. Jeff, I hereby, by this will, give you my estate worth 500 billion naira to you in Abuja. All right. And let's just say you are the only one, or let's use another person as well. And then let's say Mr. Ijeomah, you should take the property. I hereby will the property in Enugu to you, right? And then I transit to the heavenlies. In that document, I also would have appointed Mr. Buhari and say Mr. Goodluck Jonathan as executors. Their duty or duties, as far as that will is concerned, is to go and apply for probate. But in summary, their duty is to do certain things as the court registry. Having done that, they are vested, they are granted, it's called probate, they are granted probate. Now, once that is done, it gives them the legal right. Title automatically now vests in them from me. Do you understand how it flows now? Remember, I said that you can't give what you don't own. A person cannot sell property except title vests in him. So from me as the owner, legally, I transfer. In fact, the will does not even transfer title to the executors. Do you understand? It is at the state registry that certain things are done and title now legally vests in the executors. Then the executors will now prepare a document. It's somewhat the same, almost the same thing as a title, a deed of transfer, right? But just that there are certain words that you should use, there are certain background. The reciter is also a little bit different. It also should establish how the will, how they all got to the point where we got to be able to transfer that title. So at that point, the people I appointed haven't done the necessary things that should be done at the probate registry. We then have the right to prepare that document. They will be the ones to sign. And as a matter of fact, this is also one of the red flags. I think we'll talk about that in our next week. Only one person cannot transfer that title. Yes, when you see an assent signed by only one person, you should be careful. You should ask, you should dig in very deep, like dig in very, very deep to be sure that somebody is not doing something fraudulent. In fact, I think we're already talking about that as number 5. So we'll merge these 4 and 5 together. And then let me tell you the story. I was coming back from court one day, and I had to join my one of the seniors in my office complaints. I was having a conversation, and he told me he just left court for a very bad. And I was like, okay, what happened exactly? He gave me a background of what happened. And so, in summary, his client bought a property that only one executor signed.
Sorry, when you mean executor, who is an executor?
Okay, an executor is the person I appointed to manage my estates after my death. The client, his own client, bought a property that was signed by only one executor. And it sent a message of fraud, because the reason they appoint more than one is to be sure that the man's estate will be properly managed, and his interest, even though he is dead, will be carried out. His instructions will be carried out to the letter. Okay, so this man bought from somebody who, first of all, the guy claimed that his father, he is the first son of the father. Basically, he was saying he's the first son. If you are the first son and there was no will, then what you should be getting at the registry is called a letters of administration. Now, if there is a will or there was a will, what you'll be getting is probate. Okay? He claimed that he was the first son and that there was a letter of administration. However, on the other side, he claimed that there was probate. Now, here's the problem. In the whole picture, the person we blamed at the end of the day was the client's lawyer. The lawyer who prepared those documents, because at that point he should have asked certain questions, right? So basically, let's leave this technical part. I hope subsequently we can break all of these subjects down. We could talk about will in a day, and then that would have time to explain all of them. But basically, what we're trying to drive at from this point is that a will is not a title document, and that if somebody says he has a will as a title document, you should wait until the person gets an assent from the executors. Okay? And if the person is saying they are protecting probate, no, just wait till you see that assent. You don't have any business transacting with that person. The person can even be claiming to be, in fact, some people can even go as far as preparing wills by themselves, right? In order to claim ownership of their father's property after he had died. And in fact, these are very good. This is very important because they do it a lot. I've seen it a couple of times or more, where the boy is the bad son of the father, and the father eventually refused to will any property to him. Before the father will die, he will look for somebody to cook up a will and use that to sell his properties. So that's really important. You should take that very